All right, it's time for a little love in the morning. Today we're tackling a tricky balance when it comes to communication in your relationship.
How do you share your honest thoughts when you have a partner who is quick to jump on the defense? That's what we're diving into here this morning with certified relationship and marriage coach Jennifer Blake Cool. Good morning. Always good to see you.
Good morning. Awesome to be here as always.
Yeah, thanks.
So this is a question that we teased last time we had you on.
Yeah, we ran out of time, but we wanted to make sure we got into this one. It's a good topic.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, that question from Anonymous. Here it is. How do I express my true feelings and avoid upsetting my husband? He gets really defensive when I share how I feel, but I don't want to feel so emotionally bottled up. Jennifer, what do you think?
I want you to know that this is such a common pain point. You are certainly not alone. And I hear this from both men and women on a regular basis. And it also looks totally different.
Interesting.
With men and women. The pain looks and feels different. So there's a gender difference that I've deeply experienced in my practice. The biggest thing that we humanly do when we are trying to express our feelings is we oftentimes, instead of expressing our true inner experience, inner emotional experience or physical sensations that are coming with having our needs met or having our needs not met, we so humanly often express our interpretation of our partner's behavior. All while we really believe in our heart and our brain that we're expressing our feelings. It happens so often. I'm personally guilty of it. I can say 100% of my clients are guilty of it.
Yeah, give us an example. Like, what's a common situation that this would look like?
I feel you don't care about our relationship. You prioritize work.
Okay,
that could be how you truly feel. Okay, that could be a legit narrative that you have
but your
built
partner's
on
not
data.
walking in the door at the end of the day going, I don't care about this, I gotta go sit down in the office. So what's a better way to explain that?
So a better way to say that is, when we don't prioritize quality time in our relationship, I feel disconnected from you. I feel alone. I feel lonely. I want us to feel more connected. I want us to prioritize time together. I miss you. I love you. I want to be with you.
What a different picture that paints to think about how you say it.
Yeah, and I think that this is such a human area of error. I mean, my heart goes out to anybody that's trapped in this because it is our human default way to express a narrative of what we think the other person is thinking or feeling. And boy, do we really do that well when we're triggered and we're using poor timing to express our feelings.
Sure.
Men have a different trigger, generally speaking, in their male brain about feeling extra criticized if there's language that can be felt as judgment. A woman will get really annoyed and triggered from feeling criticized. But I will tell you, if you can soak this in, it cuts deeper for men.
Interesting.
It can really cut to the core of who they are as a person when they feel that they're being negatively judged or criticized for something that they're doing or something that they're failing to do, and they're not hearing from their partner the actual vulnerable inner experience, which actually takes raw work. I mean, it is so much harder to say, when I see you on your phone at dinner, and that's the limited time that we have, I feel frustrated. And I feel alone.
Okay.
And I feel annoyed because I want to be closer to you and I want the limited time that we have together to be used in a quality way.
So that's step one for our question asker then, is to sit there and think with yourself, is there a better way that I can be approaching the topics? Is there a better time that we can have these conversations? Like, how do we come into the best possible situation? What do you do then if you are trying to have the conversation the right way and you're still met with a partner who immediately takes it personally, gets frustrated, doesn't want to have the conversation?
The coach in me wants to say that I want to lovingly challenge that person to dig even deeper.
Yeah.
okay, we are all responsible for our reactions. I want to believe in my coaching heart that if we're doing our best and we're using productive frameworks and strategies, that we won't be met with that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's me idealistically thinking. So to answer your question, giving that person time and space, kind of like we talked about last time, really making it certain and specific when we're going to come back to the table and revisit this.
Oh, that's right. That kind of ties into our question,
You know?
our talk about stonewalling.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hey, I see you're overwhelmed with
getting
what
really
I
upset.
said.
Yeah.
I know I just said a lot. How about we come back after dinner and talk about it so that we can both call?
So, we don't have a ton of time,
Yeah.
but questions that like pop into my mind, and you know, you are, of course, we say it in every intro with you, a relationship coach and a marriage coach. How beneficial is it to just say, hey, maybe we do need that professional help to kind of intervene?
Let's get a referee in here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is great to have a guide like me because I can, you know, I kind of look at it in my head as sitting on the fence between two people, and I
Right.
can look at people equally, and I can love on and nurture both perspectives and even narratives. But to have a guide like me that can help you come to the middle ground, or really actually, you know, practice the art of getting more vulnerable with yourself.
Could be super helpful.
Or to be able
Yeah.
to see part of it without the emotion in it, because that's
Right.
your
Yeah.
internal world. You think it's so visible to everybody else, and it's just.
And I know we got to roll, so I'm not going to ask you another
Yeah.
question. But I think a question that would be interesting to ask you at some point is how to approach telling your partner, I want to get a coach involved, because I think that's
That's
a
a
moment.
great question.
So
Ooh, maybe we
Let's
make
do that
that our
next time.
We can
next
make that-
conversation.
Yeah, we're out of time for now, but I think
love
that's a
it.
fascinating talking point, Jennifer. Always
Thanks for
great to see
having me.
you.
That was a great question.
Yeah.
Good talk.
Thank you.
I
What
was
an
due
honor.
for one. And if you have a question for Coach Jen, you can send us a message right now on the AM Extra Facebook or Instagram pages. Your question could be answered right here on the show, and you can remain anonymous.
Slide into those DMs. We want to hear from you.
All right.